What's up, everybody? Nick Fit here with another Fitness Friday with Nick Fit. If you're joining me for the first time, every Friday at 6:15 I go live on my Instagram and I chat you up about a different subject. Okay, so I'm about to hit the invite button here. Just give me a second so that I can invite my people who love this stuff, want to be a part of it. So here I go, just sending off some invites here. Okay, because we got to talk today about the value of making sacrifices and the kinds of sacrifices we make and what that means for us and our results and all of that fun stuff. Okay, no coffee in my system today, so I am moving a little slower, but that's how it is. So, what's Fitness Fridays with Nick Fit? I'll take a quick moment just to tell you. Every Friday I decided to go live at 6:15 to talk about a topic, to work out in the background and to encourage you, the viewer, to work out alongside with me. Feel free to drop comments. I got a little music in the background, and then after we finish the major presentation and workout, we do a 5-minute master blaster where we do 5 minutes, 50 seconds, 5 moves. So 5 moves, 50 seconds each, so we got 10 seconds between each one. Okay, and we do as many reps as we can. I already wrote them out, so I know exactly what I'm doing today, and at the end of this workout you're gonna find out too. So stick around, even if you don't work out and you just wanna chill and you wanna soak it up and listen. I always drop gems, I always drop knowledge, stuff that you can use. Okay, because that's my thing, man. I'm a personal trainer, certified personal trainer. I've been in the industry 14 plus years, and my passion is to help other people get fit, live a healthy life, develop their sense of self and their self to be able to achieve the goals that they want in life. Okay, I'm on a self-work journey, self-love journey, self-development journey, and I invite you to continue doing the same on yours. So I see I have my first person entering. Welcome. Glad to have you. I'm going to start the presentation, or my presentation, I'm start chatting in a little bit. Okay, and I'm sure people will come in. So if you're catching this at 6:15, you're in like St. Kitts, Nevis, etc. You're catching this at around 6:15. If you're in the States or anywhere where daylight savings is a thing, it's going to be at 5:15 for you. So it's going to look a little different. Some people right now, they're still shopping because it's Black Friday, but I'm like, yo, Black Friday ain't stopping these gains. So grab your weights, grab your mat, grab your water, run get it if you have to, or you could just follow along. I'm hitting upper body, I have my weights, okay, and then we're gonna begin. So here we go. My first thing I start off with every Friday, I always give thanks. So I just want to give thanks for all the people that are making this channel possible. Thanks to all the donations. Thanks to everybody who supports my stuff, likes my stuff, shares my stuff, posts my stuff up. Really appreciate it. Yes, I'm not dressed like in typical fitness attire. I was like, yeah, I'm grandfather fitness today. Pull up my pants here for you whippersnappers, right? And hit my workout. No coffee in my system, so I'm not going to be all over the place as much. Or maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. But anyway, we're going to begin. So I'm starting off, I have my 15-pound weights here. I'm doing upper body mostly today, and then we do the master blaster at the end. Alright, let me see if that's my boy. Alright, I got my other half, the other Nicholas Titley, namesake. Welcome. Alright, so I'm starting off, I'm doing upper body. Okay, feel free to join in or do your own workout. Whatever you want to do, okay? Or you could just chill in the back. That's what it is on Fitness Fridays with Nick Fit. We chilling, we getting fit together, we getting healthy in mind and body. So first, like I said, I'm going to give thanks. Thanks to everybody. I am thankful for wonderful food. I am thankful for these workouts on a Friday. I'm thankful for healing, because let me tell you, body has been injured a lot this year from running and doing other things. So I'm really thankful for healing. I'm really thankful for all the people that make a huge contribution in my life, make a difference in my life. Without them, don't know where I'd be. So that's my gratitude. I invite you to do the same in your own time every day. You could list just 3 things, and it could be 3 different things that you're grateful for. That way you dig a little bit when you choose 3 different things every day, right? So the topic I chose for today is sacrifice. Okay, making sacrifices. Before I begin, hello sir. Before I begin, sometimes I'm gonna move forward here because there are gonna be people in the comment section. So I'm just gonna be responding to them or saying hello, etc. So the topic I chose for today is about sacrifice. Okay, it's about making sacrifices. It's about understanding what you need to make, what you want in your life, and what you have to be willing to do to achieve it. Okay, so for many of us, okay, you're not willing to make the sacrifices necessary to get where we need to get, and that's a struggle for us. I'm so tired already because it's a struggle for us. So how do we get the results that we want if we're not willing to make sacrifices? What sacrifices do we have to make? What are those? What does it mean to really make a sacrifice? And what are you sacrificing when you do it? Because I can tell you that for many of us, it's easier to stay in our comfort zone. It's easier for us to stay comfortable and not make those sacrifices. Because why? Why bother? I'm comfortable. But let me tell you, if you want the fruit, you gotta climb the tree sometimes, man. Sometimes it will drop off, but other times you gotta climb. You gotta learn to climb. You gotta give up your fears, and you gotta move past it, and you gotta do what the best you can do to get the results that you need to get in this life. Okay? So that's today's topic. We're talking about sacrifices. Now, let me preface. Okay? The first thing I'm gonna say, because last week we spoke a bit about Thanksgiving. I'm going a little slow on my arms here. We spoke about the holiday season. We spoke about, you know, holiday eating and diet and stuff. So you can go back to last Friday and check out that video. Talked a lot about that. I'm gonna say this first. I hope if you ate a lot this week, you don't feel guilty about it, and understand that whatever pounds you probably put on, you're gonna take them off again. You know, you can. It's very possible. You don't have to start your routine over. You don't have to feel ashamed. Okay, you're human. It happens. It's completely fine, normal, and okay to overeat, and just eat and enjoy yourself. And I hope you keep that spirit as you continue through this season. The next thing I'm going to say is that, just a brief reminder, if you are on any kind of fitness journey, diet, whatever you're doing, whatever you do normally, okay, I want you to keep on it. Okay, just stay on it. You're going to be fine. Okay, so now we're going to talk about making sacrifices. What's all of that about? Before I continue, I'm going to say this. I saw something today I thought was really interesting. Okay, this guy that I follow on Instagram, and I think Facebook as well. I won't call any names in case they come after me, right? I'd be so lucky. He was basically calling out another fitness professional, something somebody else was saying on their wall. The person initially was saying, you know, if you're like a car, right? And you have to fill your body with the right fuel. And I understood that, because that's what diet is about, right? Nutrition and so sound nutrition. You have to fill yourself with the proper nutrient, and so your body will run and you know, etc., etc. Cool, no problem. Then he goes on, the person who's calling this other person out, saying, listen, you're not a car. People are not cars. If you want to have a cookie, you should be able to have a cookie. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. We're not cars. We still need to run on the right fuel, right? And I understand the notion of having a cookie, meaning it's okay to splurge once in a while. It's okay to have a little something once in a while, and that should be okay. And I agree with that. Okay? You can even work the cookie, so-called cookie, whatever the cookie is. It could be piece of cake, could be bread pudding, could be ting, could be whatever, soda. You can even work that into your regular diet. Okay? But you have to think about what you want and how what you're taking in, what your intake is of these products, how that affects your body and it affects your goals. That's why today is about making sacrifices. Many people don't want to hear what I have to say because it's a very difficult subject. It's a very difficult subject. Let me just wave at somebody here. It's a very difficult subject when you talk about making sacrifices. Because nobody wants to have to make sacrifices. Who wants to do that when we're comfortable? You know? Why should I bother? Why should I even care? Why should I make myself more uncomfortable on top of how uncomfortable I am already in this situation? Okay. So we got to talk about sacrifice. But before I even go into that, I'm going to say this. Going back to the cookie example. Yes, you are human. And you have to be very careful with your relationship to food. Because what you don't want is you don't want to reward yourself with junk food when you do something right. Okay, that's not a positive loop. Okay, you run a mile and you feel tired, so you go have a cookie. No. You know, rewarding yourself with stuff that's probably not good for you, it's probably going to make you feel worse in the long run. So you really have to think about that. I am going to say as well that yes, we are human. We cannot make sacrifices to everything. And I know that there is a culture or a spirit of sacrifice where they say, you gotta push, man. There's no pain, no gain, you know, culture. You gotta push until you get it. You have to stress yourself out. You gotta take long nights, have long weekends and sleepless nights. Get no sleep, do this, do that, in order to achieve your goals. So, that's a sacrifice, right? Because you're sacrificing sleep. Some people sacrifice food. Some people sacrifice time with family in order to get what they want. So the question is, well, what do we really have to sacrifice? Okay, what are we talking about when we make sacrifices? So today, I want to talk about both ends, what to do and what not to do. I'm going to start with what not to do because most people are like, all right, tell me what not to do. Right? I see there's a comment. I'm going to come up a little. Eat anything you like, but keep the carb, protein, fat ratio correct and the calorie count good and you will fine. Amen. That's it. Video done. Video done, right? That's how it is. That's how it is. It's true. Right? Gotta keep the calories in check. If that's what you want to do, man. If you want to lose weight, you gotta keep the calories in check. So, and I'm so glad you brought that up. So here's what we talk about what not to do. Now, you can juxtapose this ideology of sacrifice to your business life, to your financial goals, to your diet, whatever goal you have, okay? We all know in order to achieve something, as they will say, achieve something great, you have to give something up. You have to be willing to spend a little to get a little, as they would say. And when I say spend, I could mean expend, meaning expend yourself a little bit, you know, burn the midnight oil, studying for a course that you need to pass, you know, giving up time with friends, giving up alcohol, giving up this, giving up that, in order to get where you need to go. So some sacrifices, great. Others, not so great. So we have to navigate this culture of no pain, no gain, sacrifices. You are the car. Yes, you can have a cookie, etc. What do you give up and what do you keep? The first thing I'm going to tell you is never sacrifice on your mental health. Never. Never, 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 never. Okay? Because if you don't have yourself, so to speak, then what do you have? How are you going to help others and accomplish the things you want to do if you can't help yourself? Doesn't make any sense, right? Seems logical, but trust me when I say this, many of us are expending ourselves, right? We are putting out all this information, content, putting in the work, putting in the time, putting in all of that at the expense of ourselves. Okay? We're helping others, but it's at the expense of ourselves. And the question is, then what's the point? When you're all burnt up, when you're like a candle burning every day, eventually you burn out. I mean, you're not a candle, I get it, right? Just like how you're not a car, but the concept is the same. If you're going to burn yourself out, okay, guess what? You're not going to have anything. So for the people that you are burning yourself out for, they're not going to rekindle your stuff. So you got to think really deeply about what you want to accomplish, okay, and what it's going to cost you. And you have to measure that. I'm not saying that your stuff is impossible, but there's always a better way. Should you give up time with family? Should you give up time with friends? Depends on the friends, right? And it depends on the situation. If your friends take you out to drink every weekend and you know you're not supposed to be drinking, right? Because maybe you're a recovering alcoholic, or for some reason you're like, listen, I don't need the calories, I'm going in for a competition. or I'm just trying to cut back on my alcohol for whatever reason, right? Then yes, you might need to ditch some of those friends because they're not supporting your new habit. Maybe you need to tell them your new habit before you're doing it, right? But we all know there are people like that. They can't wait to see you drunk. Can't wait to see you falling on your face, okay? And that's okay. You know what? That's okay. But they may not be the best friends for you. So, what do? You make a sacrifice. Because guess what? Yes, we want friends. Yes, we need friends. We need people. We need to be around others. We're gregarious by nature, which is completely understandable for human beings to want human contact. But at the same time, it's the quality of the contact that really matters. And if those people are not contributing positively to you, then you need to make a sacrifice. If you don't want to cut them out completely, then guess what? You have to cut back on the time that you spend with them. It's the first thing you need to think about when you're talking about making sacrifices. Think about your circle. Think about the time with your circle. Think about your family. Family is very important. Okay? But not all family is supportive of what you're doing. So you may have to limit contact with them. Okay? That's the first thing we're going to talk about, sacrifice, your circle. The next thing is about habits, and we move on to like ego and all of that stuff. Certain habits you're performing right now are not helping you. Fear is a habit. Doubt is a habit. Every time something comes up and you want to do it, you feel away. As we say here, you feel away, meaning you feel somewhere. You feel fearful. You feel like, oh, I can't do this. That's a habit. You have trained yourself and your mind to believe you. To believe that when you're trying to accomplish something, that fear is the best way forward. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to skip it because I can't do it anyway. I'm going to fail anyway. Right? There's no point. So now you're giving yourself legs, as we say, or reasons, excuse me. You're giving yourself reasons as to why you can't accomplish the thing that you're trying to make. Okay? And you have to be very careful with giving yourself reasons, because you know what? They stick around a whole lot longer than you want them to, and you end up believing it. Many a times, it's just an excuse. There is no reason why you can't accomplish what you want. But guess what? You have involved yourself in the habit of turning to fear and doubt and excuses and all of that when it's time to grind. And you got to think about that. You got to make a sacrifice to yourself in that sense. You got to say, you know what? This is really difficult. But if I do this and I come out on the other side, this is what I'm going to have. This is what I'm going to have when I accomplish this goal. Okay? You also have to focus not on how it's going to feel in the moment, but you got to focus on what you're trying to get and why you need it. Okay? If we could look at diet for a second, diet, weight loss, weight gain, you know, all of that, fitness as a topic, right? Many people don't want to make sacrifices. Okay? They want to have the cookie. They want to have the cookie as the reward for doing wrong. Not wrong, excuse me. They want to have the cookie for doing right. You go for a mile run, you do this hard workout session, you do something difficult, and then you eat something for it. You eat something sweet, you know? So it's like you're creating this relationship with food where you are giving yourself a reward as a result of doing something that you're supposed to do for yourself. Never involve food as a reward system. That's what I'm going to say. If you can. It's very difficult to shake it once it's there. But you got to rework your mind. And I know that it's uncomfortable for people. It's very uncomfortable to talk about this stuff. I can tell you that. The reason is because nobody wants to hear. Nobody wants to hear about making sacrifices. They're already uncomfortable. The COVID-19 has come. It's disrupted so many of us. Many of us don't have any money. We don't have this. We lost family. We lost all these things. As I posted on my social media today, I'm like, you know, I actually cut back some of the words on this, but I was saying, whenever I ask people if health is on their plan, health is on their future plan, okay, 5-year, 10-year plan, you say, okay, where do you want to be in 5 or 10 years? They tell you about the house, they tell you about marriage, the relationships, they tell you about all these things, a car, a boat, a helicopter. I'm just kidding. They tell you about all these different things. But what you never really get a sense of is, what about their health? Do they want to be healthy? Most of the times, if they're not feeling so healthy or they're not as healthy as they would like to be, you'll hear that. But most people really could care less. They're like, whatever, you know. But let me say this. You can spend a lifetime building wealth, and all that wealth will go down the drain if you don't have your health together. It's very easy. Very, very, very easy. Extremely, let me not say very too much. Extremely easy for you to lose your health. Okay? Because you spent your lifetime accumulating wealth. You didn't take care of your mind, and you didn't take care of your body, and you didn't spend time with your family and all of those people. So like I said, you got to think about what it means to make sacrifices, and you have to think about what you are sacrificing. Should you sacrifice your ego? Absolutely. Especially when it comes to something that's most important for you. You have to weigh the options. What's most important? Is it important for you to accomplish this goal? Is it important for you to be healthy 5 to 10 years down the line? Absolutely. Is it important for you to, live to see your family, live to see your finances, live to have your relationships come to full blossom? What's important to you? Is it important for you to see nieces and nephews, sons and daughters, mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers, etc.? Yes, absolutely. And we're not just talking about family, but we're talking about life in general. Is it important for you? Because if it is, and you say, I have a 5 or 10 year plan, then absolutely health has to be on it. Okay? So, again, we talk about sacrifices, making sacrifices. What does it mean to make sacrifices? It means giving up on the things that you need to give up on in order to benefit in the long run. Okay? So I spoke about ego. I mentioned ego a little while ago. What do I mean by ego? Here's an example. You and somebody have a conversation. You don't like what they said. Okay? Do you A, bite off their head? Argue, get into a fight. It possibly gets worse. You lose a friend. Do you wait until it's a better time in order for you to address it? I'm going to tell you now, the former is a bit more messier than the latter. Okay? Sometimes, people say things, we don't like it. We feel attacked. We feel like it's personal when really it's not personal. It's not about us. Sometimes it's about the person and they're just talking. They're just expressing themselves. But it's very easy sometimes for us to take it personally because, you know what? That's how we feel. Or we're struggling with it. We have maybe a self-esteem issue or just an issue in that area. So what we're doing is we are taking it more personal than it needs to be. So in that moment, it's very easy for you to get up and answer. You just want to answer. Okay, you wanna let them have it, man. You wanna tell them off. But guess what? That's the sacrifice. Because sometimes you gotta tell yourself, you know what, this is not the time, and how I feel, all angry and huffy and puffy, is not the way. It's not the right time. Okay? Nothing good comes. Let me tell you, when you get angry and you start to wanna go off and whatever, I'm telling you, you're not thinking, you're not rational. So you wanna wait for a moment where you're more rational, and that's the sacrifice. The whole notion of making a sacrifice to make gains in today's thing is sometimes you have to make yourself uncomfortable in order for yourself to be comfortable in the long run. Okay? So whether it is making a sacrifice on your diet, maybe it is making a sacrifice on negative friends and negative people, maybe it is habits, things that you have to give up, clapping back at everybody, responding to everything because it's very stressful for you and it creates a lot of stress for you. Okay? So instead of doing that, you might say, alright, does not feel comfortable to keep my mouth shut at this point, but I'm going to have to do it for me. You write it out later, you discuss it with somebody, then you package it if you need to, and then you discuss it with the person. Instead of, and stressing out yourself and then you and them getting at it. No. That's not to say you should be a pushover and you should let everybody walk on you, because that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is picking your battles. Because anytime you speak to people, let me tell you, you're expending energy. Okay? One of the videos I spoke about, I said that energy is one of the resources that we have at our disposal. Okay? It's one of the most precious resources we have, but we squander it. We waste our energy. We waste our time. Time was one of the biggest resources that I mentioned, and one of the biggest resources that we have. We trade time for money. We trade time for everything. Okay? And that's why when we feel like we waste our time, understand that you're right. Because guess what? You have no way of regaining that time. All you could do is take more time and try to do better than what you had. You could never go back a day and say, I'm going to reclaim the minutes, the hours spent arguing and being stressed out over this person or this thing that somebody did to me. But it's going to take work. This is what I'm talking about, sacrifice. Sacrifice, I say, when I'm talking about discipline to anybody, sacrifice is a part of that. Okay? You have to make sacrifices. You have to give certain things up if you want to be where you want to be. Okay? I'm not telling you that you're not human. As we go back to that cookie and car example. Right? Yes, you are human. Yes, you have wants and needs, and you want human contact, and you want this, and you want all of those things. And it's completely okay to want those things. Trust me when I say that. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself what's helping and what's hurting. What works, what's not working. And where do you want to be in the next couple of years? What's your 5 and 10 year plan? Because if you don't start thinking about the things that you need to make sacrifices on, the things that you need to give up in order to get to where you need to go, I'm telling you, you're going to be right where you are in the next 5 to 10 years. And nobody likes to talk about this stuff. Mel, nobody likes to talk about this stuff because it's extremely difficult for us to say that we're going to give up on things that are comfortable. It's comfortable to eat the way we're eating. It's comfortable to go out with the same bunch of friends who negative, who we're going to come home and we're going to complain about. It is comfortable for us to feel angry, take out that stress on others, take out that stress on ourselves, ruminate on the same emotion and the feelings over and over and over instead of trying an outlet or a way in order to address it. Okay? Because let me tell you, energy is powerful. And when you don't have any, I can guarantee you, you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like to be exhausted, to be tired, to be like, oh, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with people. You're snappy. You're this, you're that. Okay? So, I understand completely. So what I'm saying to you is you got to guard your energy. And you got to make the necessary sacrifices or give up the things that are not helping you in order to achieve the things that you need to have. If you want to make gains, you're going to have to think very clearly about the things in your life, things that are stopping you from achieving the results that you want. Ask yourself what's working and what's not working. Because most times, 9 times out of 10, we know what we want, okay? Sometimes we don't want to actualize it, or we don't think we can actualize it, and we don't think that some of us don't think we deserve it. Conversation for another time. But my point here is, okay, you've got to examine what's working and what's not working. Sometimes you got to get out your own way, okay? Give up on your comforts, make yourself uncomfortable, and practice that discomfort, okay? That's where you're going to grow. That's where the growth comes from. If you're just sitting in the same thing every day, every year, and you're not moving, or you've done it for a couple of years a certain way and you haven't moved, try doing something that is difficult. Try doing something that's uncomfortable, okay? And I get it. It's hard. It's extremely difficult. Nick, you don't know what it's like. I get that. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. It's hard. Nobody is this and that. I'm so hurt. It comes from a trauma. It's this, it's that. And I understand all of that. I get it. But at the same time, you're still going to have to do it. People who are depressed, many of them, they still have to take their medication. Some of them have to take medication. Some of them don't. Okay? But guess what? They got to do something. Because if they do nothing, they will never move. So they have to fight against it. Even though it's uncomfortable. So you have to give up the notion as well that you're going to always be comfortable. Life is uncomfortable. Every week I go out, I run. And I'm not a big runner. Okay? But I try to do it anyway. I try. I struggle. Sometimes I hurt myself, but you know what? I adjust myself, I adjust my form, I adjust my stride, I adjust the time, and I make it work. And when I need to rest, Well, I don't. Well, I try to rest. I force myself to rest, right? And then I move forward. But you've got to get comfortable with the idea that life is not easy and it's uncomfortable. And you're going to have to make some really uncomfortable and difficult decisions if you want to make gains. Whatever gains is to you, gains in muscle, gains in fat loss, gains in your relationship, gains anywhere in your life. If you want to make those gains, you're going to have to make sacrifices. And you're going to have to decide, instead of just giving up stuff willy-nilly, think about what's working and think about what's not. 9 times out of 10, you know what works and you know what's not. But you're afraid to give those things up because of something. Somebody is going to talk about you. Your mother is going to say this, your father is going to say that. Your spouse is going to have this. Your worker is going to have that. Okay? You got to ask yourself what works for you and what doesn't. And you got to move from that spirit. Okay? So folks, I try to talk for a little less time now and then get into the 5-minute Master Blaster after. Okay? Just so that we keep on schedule here. So, I'm going to transition right into that. I'm not even going to wait too long today. Okay? So, here's what we're doing for today's workout. Okay? So, got my music here. Got everything ready. Let me just get the timer going. Okay? So, our first move, I actually wrote it down because I want to make sure I absolutely had it. Let me take off my glasses here. Okay? So, the first thing we're doing a squat and a front lunge. Squat, front lunge. Of course, you're doing as many as you can within the time frame. After we finish with the squat and the front lunge, you're doing high knees. Okay, high knees. You get down, you do mountain climbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're doing 4 high knees, 2, 2, 2 mountain climbers, 2, 2, which is 4. Okay. When we finish with that, we're doing a push-up. Then we turn the body. Come back into the push-up position. Push-up. Turn the body like side planks. Okay. Then we're going into planks. But we're going into planks with a shoulder tap. Okay. Plank with a shoulder tap. Okay. And then last, we're doing full crunches. Okay. So that's the move list for today. So let's go over that. Squat and a front lunge. Squat, lunge, squat, lunge. As many as you can. High knees, 4. Mountain climbers, 4. Get back up, rinse and repeat until the time is done. Push up, then turn. Plank. With shoulder tap. Crunches, full crunches. Okay? So that's what we're doing today. Alright. Ready? Get your stuff. Get your stuff. Ready? Alright, here we go. We're gonna start. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Squat, lunge. Squat, lunge. Squat, lunge. Squat, lunge. Keep going. Breathe. My legs are tired already. I love having a little rhythm to this, you know. You bust the squat and then you just step right forward. Alright. Woo. Now, moving on to our next move. High knees, mountain climbers. Ready. Alright, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you continue. Breathe. Breathe. right. Wow. That was great. All right. All right, push up time. All right, here we go. Push up, side plank. You got it. Push up, side plank. There's another name for this. I don't remember it, but you know what? We're gonna go with side plank. Breathe. Breathe. All right. Woo, all right. Plank time. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Begin. My screen went off. Oops, I can't do it like that. I gotta do it like this. Come on. Whatever works. If this hurts the wrist, just go back to regular planks like this. Okay, if that hurts the wrist. Next week we gotta do those walking planks just like this. Next week we'll do these. If I remember. If I don't, remind me. And stop. Woo! Alright. Full crunches now. Let me sit all the way back here. Alright. And begin. There you go. Legs straight out. Body straight in. Let's go. Breathe. Woo! It's okay to take a break. Small, let's push right through. We're gonna take up those extra 10 seconds for this one, so we're really doing a minute. Come on, you can do it. And I didn't get beat. Oh well. Oh, great job everybody. Oh my goodness. Thank you for coming. I appreciate everybody who passed through today. This video will be posted so you can view it again later. But to go over real quick what was said. If you want to make gains in your life, you got to make sacrifices. And in order to make those gains, you got to think about those sacrifices. What are you giving up? What do you need to give up? Assess where you are right now. Assess what you've done. Ask yourself. Example, you say fitness, weight loss. I've done it this way, this way, this way. Hasn't worked. What else do you need to make a sacrifice on? What else do you need to give up? Is it a mentality? Is it a food? Is it something that you need to replace? Do you need help? Do you need something else? What do you need? You gotta figure out what you need. Do not just take all this no pain, no gain stuff and just willy-nilly make sacrifices, cut people, cut this, cut that. Please don't do that. Think about what works and what doesn't. If you're in a group, a social group, it's not a positive group for where you are or where you would like to be, then you have to limit your access. I'm not telling you cut them out. Limit your access. Okay? If you want to be great, you want to make those gains, so to speak, you got to make a sacrifice. It could be time. Many a times it is time. You might study. You might have to study a little bit more. Go to certain places a bit less. Drink this a bit less. Eat that a bit more, etc. You might not like it. That's part of it. That's part of why it is called making a sacrifice and giving something up. It's never easy. but you gotta do it if you want to get to where you need to get to. Okay, so folks, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I will see you next week, 6:15, same place, same time. Like I said, I appreciate y'all being here, giving thanks. Keep your mind right, get your body tight. Let's go. Take care, everybody. This is Nick Fit out.